right here. The Boss 302 lower grill. Got the lower fog light delete. So I'm gonna put brake cooling ducts there soon. But right there, got the whole lower grill now. Something that I've been waiting for a long time. Okay, so here's the setup right now. What we got is, didn't really put the car all the way up on the ramps, but this should be more than enough room right here. Basically, we're just going to be going through the process of removing this lower grill. Just goes there, leave right here. There should be a bolt right there. I already took out the one on the passenger side, but for the most part, it's just held in by a bunch of clips that you just have to unclip one at a time, and that should be pretty easy. And then just install the Boss 302 lower front grill, and it should be an easy install. Okay, so here's a quick update. Basically what I've done is I've taken off the entire front bumper off, because what I realized, it's not just these push tabs right here on the lower grill that you it's obviously easier to take out these lower ones once you have the whole entire bumper off. But the main thing was this bolt right here that's really hard to access while the bumper's on. So that's why I just decided to just take out the top clips and the clips on the top of each corner and just take off the entire bumper. It'll just make for easier install. Alright, right here there's one bolt down. It's a 7mm. And as you can see now, it just releases this whole bottom part, which just makes for the whole taking off the lower grill so much more easier. Now we're just going to move on to that corner. Alright, and just unbolt this one and then just release these lower clips, and this whole lower grill will just come off very easily. Right here, now we got the old lower grill. Excuse the dirty room, but this is what we got here. This right here is the old lower grill right here. As you see, it kind of has like a cutoff there. It's not as aggressive nor as lower compared to this one right here. The here, as we see, we have the Boss 302 one where it actually extends down and doesn't have a cutoff, unlike the regular stock GT one. And also has the fog light holes, which if you wanted to, you could put fog lights, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to have some brake cooling ducts through here. And right here you do have an opening in the middle, but these right here similar, still use the same clips. It's a Ford OEM part. So, but here, this is the part that I'm talking about that has like the cutoff right there. So where this one, on the other hand, is just all straight and doesn't have a cutoff at all. So it creates the appearance that it's a lot lower than it actually is. That's a comparison right there. Now we're gonna go put this one in the car. Right, so this is the lower grill already kind of mocked up and seeing how it's gonna fit. It's obviously gonna go in directly in the same clip since it's a Ford OEM part, but that's pretty much almost how it's gonna look like. Now all we have to do is just put it inside the clips and put the two bolts back on, and then put it back on the bumper, and it should be an easy install like that. All right, so we have the front bumper back on. Wasn't anything hard, just make sure you put it in on the same clips. Make sure that this is right here behind, and obviously put in that bolt down there. Now what you want to do is make sure right here, don't forget to reinstall these bolts underneath here. There's 4 of them, and I believe it's a 7mm also, but yeah, there's just 4 of those. Don't forget those. And then you move on to the top right here, which is this bolt. Once you clip that back on, now it's just putting those right there on that side there, and then you put back that, and you should be all done with your install. Here I just wanted to take a quick minute and just explain the whole front end that I got going on. So right here we have the regular GT upper grill, but basically what I did is I wanted to make it just like the Boss 302. And so what I did was I got a mesh right here. It's like a chicken wire, and at first I tried crazy glue, but it didn't really hold, especially with the weather. It just eventually came off. So basically what I did was I got something like gutter seal caulking, and basically I just put it all over on the top so it would hold it, and it actually holds up really well since it's waterproof because of the you usually use this mostly on gutters to make things waterproof. And I also did some right here on the sides. I didn't want to do it over here because then it would be a little too visible. Same thing that I did over there. So when you look at it from here, you can't see anything, but basically it just allows for even more airflow on top of these vents right here. Right here, right over there, you have the intake towards the intake box. And now here we got the Boss 302 lower grill. And now what this does is obviously you still have opening right here towards your radiators and cooling, but now you also have this one right here, which is a usually you use it for a fog light in the California special, but for the Boss 302 it's a brake cooling duct. Now with this one I'm gonna need to buy a brake cooling kit, which I believe runs about $100 or close to $200. But basically it's a ducting system that goes through there and connects to right here towards your front brakes, and just helps keep them cool. I'm gonna see where exactly it comes out through, but just gonna give you some quick looks of the new bumper with the whole Boss 302 front end look. We still don't have the lower splitter. Now I'm not sure if I should just go with the Boss 302 lower splitter and just call it a day, or get a custom carbon fiber splitter that extends out a little more. I might need some support rods for that, but I mean, it's soon gonna be winter over here, so it's not that much joy riding anymore, but it's just mostly for aesthetics right now. But one day I do plan on hopefully taking this Mustang to a track and obviously getting coilovers and just adjusting the suspension and getting it all fine-tuned. But that's pretty much basically what I'm trying to do with this entire build, which basically what I'm trying to do is make the handling and the performance aspect of this car, since it's a GT, I'm trying to make it similar to a Boss 302 just because they use the same chassis and the same engine. However, they do use the Roadrunner engine, which just basically is just engineered completely differently. But besides the engine, the whole chassis is pretty much the same. So I'm trying to basically make it handle and be as agile and have all the aerodynamic features that a regular Boss 302 might have. So that's why right here I have the cooling with the fog light delete, and also I'm adding the brake cooling ducts along with just a more aggressive front fascia. But in the engine bay, what I'm trying to do is trying to almost replicate a GT500 type of performance in the engine with obviously the overhead TVS style supercharger. Right now it's at 575, and I know the 5.8 liter Trinity GT500 engine has a TVS, but used Eden style supercharger, which has 662 horsepower if I'm not mistaken. But so that's what I'm trying to build it up towards the engine wise, get it up to similar horsepower figures as a GT500. So it'll be almost, to say the least, the best of both worlds. You know, it'll have the acceleration of a GT500, yet it'll have the handling capabilities of a Boss 302, yet also with the aerodynamic features and all the cooling systems that come with a Boss 302. But that's basically what I'm trying to do with this build, which is why I upgraded the lower grill, as well as also updating and creating this Boss 302 like fog light delete. But that's pretty much it. Hope you guys like it.